Do you think they're intentionally making Lex Luthor look like Grant Morrison?
Yo, shout the season, man.
I mean,
There are a couple of shots in the trailer where I was like, "Oh my god, that looks like Grant Morrison."
that's Grant Morrison.
Which is so funny. Grant Morrison made himself look like Lex Luthor, but that shot where he's standing and he's looking out the window and it's like shooting him from behind, I was like, "Holy shit, that looks like Grant."
It'd be funny if he just like has a moment of dialogue with like a character and he just like randomly just breaks into an Irish accent out of nowhere and then just goes back into a regular like Lex Luthor voice.
Yeah, he breaks the fourth wall and is like, "The only person who controls me is the writer." And you're like, "Ah!" That's it.
Or like, you know, he just takes like a tab of LSD out of nowhere. This one is a monumentous one, right? Isn't it, Seamus? Isn't this one of the most important reactions we've ever done on this channel so far?
Yeah. This and like this Fantastic Four and then Secret Wars are going to be like top 3 most important, I think.
This morning, our the lovely, talented genius known as James Gunn, who is, you know, a esteemed filmmaker known for directing, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy and the Suicide Squad, and then is now the current CEO of DC Studios, along with Peter Safran, just dropped the official teaser trailer of the upcoming Superman film, which is going to be coming out next summer in July, I believe.
I've been a fan of James Gunn, of course, because I like, you know, the Guardians movies. I liked Suicide Squad, but Superman, I had always said, I was like, I don't know if he got the sauce to be able to do Superman. And he agreed with me, apparently, because even he said when he was, you know, being in talks to being the head of DC, they offered him Superman even before he was being offered to be the head of DC. And he was like, no, I don't got the sauce for that. I don't think I could do it. And he only accepted to do this movie once he was like, wait, actually, I have an idea that really speaks to me as a filmmaker. And that, as soon as he said that, I was like, okay, I'm going to trust him. I'm going to walk with him on this one because I still not sure if he could do it, but you know. And then slowly more stuff started coming out, you know, the set pictures and stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm liking what I'm seeing. We're getting there. And then he had that whole slate come out. And I was like, okay, that sounds like someone who knows what they're doing.
Oh, you naive fool. You've fallen right into my trap.
I've been like cautiously optimistic about this movie.
I'm in the same boat as you. I mean, my intro to James Gunn was with the Guardians films, and then I got into, and then one other movie I did watch that was outside of Marvel that he did was Super with Rainn Wilson, Elliot Page, and I was like, this movie's unhinged, but I liked it.
Yeah, well, like for me, I mean, you're probably gonna be like, oh yeah, for me it was probably the Scooby-Doo movies I watched as a kid all the time. Yeah.
No, hey, you're doing that thing again where you take everything I say out of context. You're trying to make it look like I think Coolsville sucks. No, don't record that.
Then obviously when he got, you know, offered to do the Suicide Squad, that was my like. I was very excited to see what he was going to do with that, and he nailed it. I think the Suicide Squad is always like one of the best DC products they've ever done in the past like 10 years. I loved it a lot, and then followed up with Peacemaker with John Cena. I thought it was really great, and I just wanted to see him do more stuff with DC. Then obviously he got appointed to become the CEO of DC Studios along with Peter Safran. And then that's when, you know, the optimism showed, because I know what James Gunn is capable of. And obviously from seeing what he's done with Guardians and then what he's done with Suicide Squad, he deep down, like, he is just a comic book fan first.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
Which I was saying in another chat I was a part of recently, that like him being a fan first and knowing that he cares about the source material and about these characters is what's gonna be long lasting with the DCU going forward. Because obviously the past 10 years of the DCU and the Snyderverse and all that stuff was a huge mess. I think having James Gunn appointed as a CEO is gonna be great. And obviously we talked about the whole DC slate. What was it, last year when they announced it? For the first time in years, made me less worried about a DC project coming out, but now I'm more so excited and optimistic for a DC project coming out which is under James Gunn, because I think he's gonna kill it. I think he's gonna save the DC universe. Real talk, like I think he's gonna save the DC universe. Oh. Who fucked them up? There we go, Lois and Clark. Is that Crypto?
Crypto.
Oh my god!
Home. Take me home.
Wow. That's your boy.
Superman.
Uh-oh. Oh my god! Wow. Oh my god! I can't stop smiling. That was really good.
Now you get why I was like, I gotta watch this right when it comes out at 9 in the morning, because the rest of my day is gonna be good.
The overall feeling people were getting was that you can't not feel hopeful, like watching this. It's just it's you're just filled with hope watching this, which is again what should be instilled in you when you're watching anything Superman. So which is great. But yeah, man. Just to break it down just real quick, so this shot of David Corenswet as Superman, he looks. I've now seeing the set photos, seeing the actual suit in motion looks fantastic. I want to know who beat the crap out of him. Was it the engineer? Because the engineer is in this movie.
I have an idea of who it could be.
This shot of here as Clark Kent, which again, I was talking shit on the wig when they're doing the set photos, but I mean it kind of works here, the little curls and stuff. I think it works, but yeah, some Clark Kent action. Him, being a klutz walking to the Daily Planet.
What's so cool that I learned is that that shot where he's outside of the Bugle and he's walking in.
Mm-hmm.
They only hired extras who were below 5'6" for that scene. So that way it looked like he's tall as hell and around everyone.
Yeah, right.
Which
here?
I think is which I think is really cool that they were we could let's only hire short extras so that way Clark looks extra tall outside. I'm like, that's so cool, dude.
That's so funny. Rachel Brasnahan as Lois Lane. The thing is, I didn't watch The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, but I've seen clips of her of her character in that, and I was just excited just because when they cast her, because she because Lois is very witty, she's very clever, and obviously is very bite for the truth and getting and so I was very, and I got hints of that in her performance as in Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, so I'm very excited to see what she does with the character. Obviously we don't hear her speak in this teaser, but just seeing her mannerisms, that's fucking Lois, man. To see her just roll around the Bugle with that attitude, that's Lois. I love that. A little shot of the Kent house, the Kent farm. I'm assuming that's Pa Kent over there. Which is nice. Having a nice little intimate moment with him and his son. Great. I think David Corenswet just looks great. He just looks. He looks like a good Clark Kent. He looks like a good Superman to me. Just the aesthetic of it. What really won me over here real quick before we even do Mr. Terrific and all of them, This shot of Crypto, like, oh, I got so excited. Like, look at him. Look at him. He's such a good
I know.
boy.
He looks so good. I don't mind that he's CGI because the CGI looks really good.
Yeah, like you honestly, you can't really tell it's. We obviously know it's CGI, but like they did a really good job of actually like adding like a realistic rendering of an actual dog. And him just like take me home. He's actually dragging him to like I'm assuming the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
A few moments later.
Look at this. It's so good. This shot here is crazy. This shot here.
That was my favorite shot of the trailer.
Yeah.
I thought I was like, oh, that looks really good.
Oh man, this shot is crazy. Again, this is good Superman shit.
Yeah.
And again, seeing the suit in motion, like, because obviously people were complaining, like it looks like too much of a mix of like the New 52 and like the classic suit. And I'm just like, listen, like set photos are one thing, it actually being shot and all that stuff and rendered in post is another. But this suit looks phenomenal in motion. I'm really liking it. Crazy, dude. Like this like slow-mo shot here of him saving this girl is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Our boy Nicholas Hoult as Lex.
Interesting. They're going with Luthor Corp instead of Lex Corp.
Lex Corp, yeah. And
that's always a very funny distinction because they change it in some things and then others they leave it Lex Corp, and I never understand what the preference is for either or. You know what I mean? Because I saw some people going like, "Why would they change it? It's Lex Corp," and then other people going, "Why Luthor Corp? What is you know what I mean?" And I'm like, who really cares?
I am curious because what Lex's role in this. I don't think he's gonna be the main antagonist. I think he's gonna be a secondary antagonist. But then built to be the main threat for Superman going forward. Obviously, like
I think he's gonna be the main antagonist in the sense that he's going to be pulling a lot of the strings of the stuff that's happening in this movie.
Okay, fair.
You know what I mean? Like he's going to be funding a lot of backdoor. You know what I mean? Like a lot of shady shit that's going to be like uncovered in this movie, and I think that then it's going to set him up as like Superman's actually going to fight him in the power suit later. You know what I mean? He's not going to get in the power suit this movie or whatever. But I do think it would be very, very silly of James Gunn to have Lex in the movie and then only have him being an old man who yells at Cloud. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just him going, you Superman, and then not do anything. Like, I think he's going to be like the main driving antagonistic force, but not like the villain this movie.
Yeah, like he is going to set a villain presence throughout the course of the film because it's going to lead up to lead into other films in the DC universe.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if in the future is setting up Lex, like forming a Legion of Doom in the future. I think he's you know what he's gonna do? Calling it right now. I'm gonna put money down on this. He's gonna do President Lex. Because I just think that is a very easy, at least right now, politically, that is such an easy layup for a character. Yeah. And then I think his Legion of Doom is actually going to be his own appointed Justice League. Like he's going to have like a presidential Justice League, and it's going to be comprised of all villains that he says are like reformed. So it's going to be basically like a Dark Avengers situation. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I think that's how he's going to get the Legion of Doom in. And then once they're revealed to be actual villains, then he's going to be like, yeah, the Legion of Doom. I fucking hate everyone.
Wow, man. Damn.
Seamus, you should write James Gunn an email being like, this is my idea.
Listen, I think he's going to do it, so I don't think I need to tell him anything.
2 hours later.
We get this shot of Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, bro. And he looks great. Look at this. This looks so cool.
Everyone was bitching about him looking stupid, and I'm like, Guy Gardner looks stupid, right? Like, yeah. Like, he looks fucking like that's his hair, dude.
Yeah, like he's been rocking a bowl cut since like the 80s.
I don't know why Guy Gardner has so many shooters, but it's so annoying because I'll be a Guy Gardner shooter because he is annoying and stupid and widely hated, and that's funny to follow a character like that. But he's got so many shooters who genuinely love him and are genuinely like, Guy Gardner's the best. How dare you say anything? And it's like, no, dude, he is.
Dude, he gets punched out every other Justice League run because they hate him. Like,
Yeah. Like, he's literally, like, the fact that everybody hates him because he's an asshole is the butt of a joke. We read Human Target. Isabela Merced, wifey, as Hawkgirl, looking nice. Oh, that's so...
That
that's
looks cool as hell.
Such a dope-ass shot.
I like the helmet. I like the helmet. I don't like the suits, but I'm holding fast because based on the stuff that I've put together, the environmental storytelling, if you will, of the suits and everything. I think there's a reason why they are the way that they are. I'm pretty sure they're doing a thing where these heroes are like corporately paid for heroes, and they're like not an actual team.
I was debating if it was kind of like, oh, like they're like a part of like the Justice Society instead of the League, because again, the Justice Society came before the League. So, but I mean, your idea also, I think would also make sense as well. But I mean, we'll see. But I was honestly hoping, like, I mean, I'm hoping that she'll eventually get the traditional Hawkgirl costume in the future. Isabela Merced, I mean, I really hope she does well in this role. Like, I want her to do well in this role because she just came off of Madam Web, which is one of the worst movies of the year.
Boom. Roasted.
So just came off of Alien Romulus, which is like one of the best movies of the year.
She was great in that.
She was great in that. So I'm hoping she does a really good job here. Look at him. Look at our boy.
He looks good.
But Ray, is it his name? Ray Carrigan, I think that's his name.
Anthony Carrigan.
Anthony Carrigan, thank you. Dude, this James Gunn cares about these characters. He looks like the character. And this is like the first time we've ever seen Metamorpho in live action, right? So
no way they've done him before.
Nah, I don't believe it.
Most importantly, my boy. Dude, look at him! Look at Edi Cathegi.
He looks great.
He looks fantastic. Oh man! And
I heard he has the out of all those other superheroes that are in the, I heard he has like the most.
He has the most important role out of them all. Yeah, I heard the same thing. I know I can't.
I'm like James Gunn knows ball if he's making Mr. Terrific like the second most important hero in this movie.
The tweet from James Gunn where he's like, Mr. Terrific is gonna have like the most important out of all the supporting characters. He's gonna be the most important character.
Yeah.
And I'm like, listen, man, James Gunn cares about these characters. He knows how goated Mr. Terrific is because Mr. Terrific is like the third smartest person in the Marvel universe. DC universe. Everybody forgets that. Like,
you should also send him You should also send him all those threads before Iron Man came out of why are we doing Iron Man? He's like a B tier hero.
Yeah. Edi Cathegi looks great. # Justice for Darwin. I'm trying to spread the hashtag around because we gotta remind ourselves that this man he had to die early in X-Men First Class as Darwin to be reborn as Mr. Terrific, the GOAT.
Yeah.
So to go along with your theory about Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, and Hawkgirl are going to be like the employed corporate superheroes for like Stag or Lex Corp or whatever, and that those are going to be their costumes while they serve under them. But I hope this is a costume that should not change because this is Mr. Terrific's costume. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think Mr. Terrific's going to be one of the only ones who's here's the thing. I think if my theory holds true, that Mr. Terrific is one of the first ones to side with Superman.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
In terms of to break free of being a corporate hero and which I think is why he's been one of the only ones to keep his identity because it's Mr. Terrific and Mr. Terrific of all people he would side with he might side with some corporate people but as a whole he would keep his own identity because that is important to him. But
exactly.
That fucking fair play jacket, man. You can't.
Bro,
they told me to take that shit off. I'd be like, go fuck yourself. I'm not taking off this. You see how cool this looks?
And you know how clean this dripper is? Why the hell would I change that?
You know what the difference is between you and me? I make this look good.
Obviously, we're so used to seeing Superman in movies in projects where he's the first superhero. So how do you feel to have the James Gunn flip the script a little bit and have Superman emerge while they're in a world where superheroes and people with abilities already exist?
I'm okay with it because
I mean, it's not exactly a foreign concept to people who read comics because the Justice Society existed. You know what I mean? And then the way they explained it was like, oh, well, they just went away, and then a new age of heroes came with Superman. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine with that. And also, like, this isn't just fresh Superman. You know what I mean? It's like, from all accounts, he's been in Metropolis as Superman for like a year or two. So it's like the Batman kind of situation.
Yeah, like
so I could totally see them. I could totally see them being like, yeah, Superman was the first, but shortly after these other ones came along too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's only a few, but like there is now more. So I think it's fine because I think you can still just say he was the first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
I mean, for me, the way I feel about it, I really like the idea where, like, you know, like the greater DC, like, well, somewhat like not obviously not the new age of heroes, but like the previous age of heroes already exist. There are superheroes that are already like among, you know, among this world, you know, protecting people. But like I love that it's kind of like the same thing with, like, you know, how some of the Marvel heroes are refer Spider-Man, like Peter Parker, where it's like, yeah, like, even though Peter Parker emerged in a world where superheroes already exist, but like due to, you know, his character and due to, like, you know, his altruistic like views on like being good and protecting others, like, he's the best of them. Nah, I mean,
yeah.
So
and also, like, that's what I was saying is, like, Superman he comes in, even if he's not the first superhero, he could be the first superhero, as in, like, all these other people weren't really superheroes. They were just, like, super powered cops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Superman's the first hero who's, like, actually looking out for people.
Yeah, and actually, like, sticking up for the little guy, which is what James Gunn said when he was developing this movie and writing the script. That, like, Superman is the hero that sticks up for the little guy or the downtrodden or you know, or the marginalized. And I again, that's I love that. Like, he gets the character, and I think it's great. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm satisfied. I mean, I'm overall just, again, I'm just excited, and just, you know, I feel like, you know, like we're in good hands here. Like, you know, let James, like, we're like letting James Gunn just cook and do his thing. And obviously, like, you know, just from the trailer alone that had no dialogue besides like a few words, I was already got us excited and like hopeful for this area of the DC universe going forward, because James Gunn knows that he has to get this right, because if Superman bombs or fails or gets poorly received, it's gonna set DC like another, like Warner Brothers and DC, another like 10 years.
Yeah, which like, I don't even think it would be that bad. Honestly, I don't think there's a world where it is that bad. I think there's a world where it's rough, and it leads to kind of a rough start where other DC movies really need to hit it, so that way, you know what I mean, they can kind of have good publicity going forward. But I don't think there's any universe where, like, it's bad enough that they're like, well, we lost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there is a universe where it might come out and it might be a little divisive, and they might be looking at more of an uphill battle. But I think you're not really gonna get like a stinker so far, you know.
Yeah,
but
sure.
I don't know. I'm interested to see how this all leads to Gorilla Grodd. But
is this nigga serious?
James Gunn, I trust you. That's the moral of the story. I trust you, and, you know, hopefully, you know, when this movie comes out, we will be satisfied. And I'm very excited to see what he just goes with, not just this movie, but just DC going forward. Like, I'm ready for it, man. I'm in. Give me my Vixen movie, get James Gunn. Give it to me. I want it. While this shot happened, I was like, I really hope that this shot, like this entire teaser as a whole, but also this shot here, like, gives Mark Waid the hope he needs to, like, not quit writing Superman ever.
Oh, dude, Mark Waid Superman, I fucking Lord Almighty.
Cause I saw that tweet when he was like, after the election, I'm like losing hope.
I can't do it,
Superman ever again. So I hope this teaser lifts him back up again. I really do hope so.